All-terrain, what is going on, All-Terrain Nation? From all things two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, from the North American market to the Australian market, this is your All-Terrain Nation. And Danny, introduce our guest today, man. We got some heavy hitters here from Australia.
Yes, we got the down unders, man. We have Dash Off-Road, the two coolest dudes on that side of the pond. They're coming out tonight to chat about all kinds of cool stuff that they're doing, and yeah, I'm stoked to have you guys on.
So first off, I want to welcome that. So we have David Dash and Matt Weber there, and you'll notice Matt's wearing a Nisstec hat. So it's kind of strange, Danny, that Australians are wearing Nisstec gear, right?
That used to be strange, but we live in a very global world, Dave, and luckily we can do things like chat with people live across the world and share it in a screen, and everybody gets to just commingle all the things. So that's the coolest part about all this stuff.
Well, so guys, welcome onto the show.
Thanks for having us, guys. Yeah, we're really excited to come on today and talk to you a bit about who we are, what we're doing, all about the wheeling in Australia, the Y62 platform, the Armada. Yeah, there's a whole lot to get through, and yeah, thanks for having us, Dave.
It is so cool to be continents and oceans apart, talking to each other.
Right.
And it's a beautiful day here.
Magnificent.
It's shorts, t-shirts weather. We're at Love Day. This is like one of the iconic full drive parks in South Australia. And just out of here, there's a whole bunch of patrols too. So
yeah, we can swing around later and show you guys. Yeah.
Good times.
Well, the coolest one right now is it right behind you guys, man. So tell us, first off, what is this that we're looking at?
This is Dave's car, and I'll let Dave talk to you about his own car.
Well, it's kind of our car.
Well, okay, it's our car, but drove it today. So.
Yeah, first time. You got to drive your own car.
Yeah, I didn't need to put the windows up. I stand it without worrying about it.
And it's filthy inside because he's trashed my car. So this is in Series 5 Y62 Patrol, 5.6 litre petrol. In Australia, you have to keep saying petrol, and there's still people going, what, petrol?
What's petrol?
It's a very diesel market over here, but making huge leaps and bounds. Of course, we've dashed this one up with our Predator front bar, big O sliders, Dash off-road roof racks, and there's a ladder on the back too. So we try and innovate. This is like the test car. I don't know how good this camera is, but even you can see the lower control arms at the front. We're trying to design some of them, which we're calling the Smurf spec arms. Just we covered our prototypes.
Yeah, I think we're through them. Yeah, we colour code them so we keep up and we know what we're doing.
We're up to blue, and this one's out. So the laws in Australia or South Australia is you're only allowed to have a 2-inch lift. So that's like 1-inch tyre lift and raise in height, and a 1-inch suspension lift. So it's tricky to get a 2-inch lift and a 2-inch bigger tyre here legally. So we're trying to innovate the market and keep making new products and seeing what sticks.
Well, that's the gap we have in Perth too, right? WA.
And
WA
Queensland.
and South Australia have that regulation and compliance, where the other states are a bit different. So you can go a little bit higher here, a little bit lower there, but you've always got to have some product for a certain market.
Right. I'm always amazed at your country. Like it seems to. I've watched people get tickets just going through town. Like it's ridiculous how they treat off-road.
Yeah, I think you get less trouble for manslaughter here at the moment. But some of it is rightly, so there's some really dangerous and some unstable vehicles and cars out there, and trucks or rigs, whatever you want to call them. But you really still have to let them have a bit of fun, right?
Basically, it's a big deal to get a car or a product ADR approved, Australian Design Rules approved here. Yeah. So if it's going to work here, it's going to work anywhere in the world and be a good, safe product.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I know you guys like kind of have an interesting story how you got into this, right?
Yeah, well, that was very interesting. So Dave had a car before I did.
Right.
Years later.
Yep.
There was a lack of product and a lot of products and things available for this platform. So once I did purchase one in 2017, I identified that I wanted a bar that wasn't a traditional, block of flats attached to a front of the car. We're driving a modern four-wheel drive. Where's the modern four-wheel drive bar, right?
And so everything was heavy and big and bulky.
Yeah, so I did a bit of researching, a lot of researching actually, and emails and getting different languages translated, and then found the bar, and then
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
We froze for a minute.
All as a channel and starting
Here we
to
go.
build. So I wanted to build the brand. I still remember the first video I put up, and 63 people watched it, and I'm thinking, like, I've told mum, dad, my friend, but I don't know 63 people, and trying to work out who these other people were that are watching my video. So then I made another one, and now I think it's like 3.5 million people have watched this channel now.
Amazing story.
So I brought the brand, Matt brought the product, and the Predator bar was born.
Right. So I've been in, I don't know how, David, we got friend. I don't know if it's through the old podcast or whatever that we used to do, like somehow, and then we interviewed Matt about your early goings on the podcast, and I'm blown away what you guys are doing with that vehicle, because here in the United States, like, guys look at the Armada, which is basically the same thing. There's a few differences, but they don't see the potential.
They're cousins.
They're cousins, yeah. They are cousins. They're not identical. My trip into Denver last year and getting underneath a couple of the new Armadas, and just seeing the change, like the differences, like the lower control arms were different, the diffs were different.
Wow.
Even the horn ends behind the bar was different. So I don't know why Nissan's done that. I don't know why why wouldn't you just roll out the same sort of chassis and platform and design? But there are some big differences between the Armada and the Y62, which sort of stalled our development and our bar release for the US, because we just thought we could send the bar over and
It works in South Africa.
Yeah. That would be the normal thing, right? The ideal thing.
So we spent a bit of time with Chris there at Nisstec. We got some 3D scanning people in to, do some scanning of the Armada, bar on, bar off, grill off. There's a routine to it,
Yeah.
Has to come to us, we pay for that service, and then we put it to our engineers. They start playing with a few designs. Well, we had the design. We had to just amend it and alter it so it would fit on the horn ends and to the proud nose of the Armada, because it had about a 6-inch proud presence at the front. And there lied the problem. So even our bash plates fitted, the three underneath, from the tank towards the front of the car, they all fitted perfectly. But the front one there's just a gap. So we've just had to now, do a bit more work in that area, and the designated US specific product. So,
Right. And I know we had some friends that they own a Nissan dealership, and they thought they could just get an ARB to slap on the front of their Armada when we got that design, and it was like, they ended up just scrapping it. They were like, it was too much effort to modify the thing and make it work.
Yeah. It's a lot of work, and people see a bar come to market, and it's not like you click your fingers and this happens. It's a huge journey, investment, time, stress, time zones, shipping costs. It's a big project and undertaking, and it's something we've had a pretty hockey stick learning curve on. But we're pretty proud of the products that we're starting to produce and get on cars, both in Australia and now abroad.
So I've got a process now. We took a while to learn how to do it. Now we've got a process, and we can get products to cars a lot quicker. And I think because we're so small, there's only 2 of us.
Yeah.
We can be quite nimble in getting stuff going.
Right. So I mean, obviously, the American off-road market is like the kind of diamond in the rough for you guys, right? Like it's like there's a lot of off-road guys here. Well, there's pretend off-road guys here for one thing, but and pretend guys buy things, so who cares, right? But there's a big market here for this, and there's a big appetite for anything Australian off-road here.
Yeah, there's a huge difference in just the sales figures alone. I mean, what we do, 1,300 a year or something.
I think it's creeping up to 2,000 a year.
And you're doing that a month.
Right.
So, yeah,
it's worth us spending the time and effort. Yeah. If we could come over at the moment, we would. That's what we'd love to do.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Really, what we're really hoping on, and expecting for things to change, is that now that the Armada's been there from mid-17, I think.
Yeah.
People are coming off leases. They're coming down in price in the second-hand market. People now start to know what we're doing with them down here. We're hoping that they start to really take them off road, and then as a result need bar work, bars, underbody protection, things that we are developing and putting on our cars down here that we can just send over to you guys over there to put on your Armadas, and that'd be the grand plan, I guess.
Right. So I'm sorry, go ahead, David.
Part of like Dash Off-Road is the products and the innovation, all that sort of thing. But that's not actually the most important part. The most important part is actually right next to us here. I'm going to pan around and I'll show you. This is what we do in Australia, and we love doing it. We just get people together that are like-minded, and they come out and have a blast with their patrols, and it's so rewarding to see. And now we're hoping some of that flavour can come to the US as well. If we could come over and do it, we would. But I'm hoping these, like the dash parts and things, and the Armada people will all come together and go and start doing the wheeling that we're doing.
Yeah, you probably have it in your Xterra and your Frontera forums and groups and communities that they have weekends or specified times a year where they get together, and it's a real community, right?
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a ton of that. Obviously for us, like the Toyota Tacomas and the 4Runners, they far outpace us as far as the numbers that they can put up or whatever. But at the same time, we do have a really cool community that does a lot of this kind of stuff. I've been on a couple trips this year, just having a blasted getting together and going out and exploring and stuff like that. And that's when everything boils down to it, you want to just get around other people that are like-minded, show off what you got and then see what other people did. And, that's really, sip a couple beers like you boys and have a good time and say, hey, this is what I did. It worked great. And this is what I did that did not work at all, and then, you just keep moving forward. And then, of course, you guys, I mean, amazing spot right there. Beautiful. There's nothing better than just getting outside and enjoying some of that, especially times like these, when you've been stuck at home for forever. You're like, I need to get out of here.
Yeah, like we're 2.5 hours north east of Adelaide. Is that about right?
On the Murray River. It's like one of the bigger rivers.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. It's like just over here, big river.
Yeah.
Cracker spot actually.
Yeah.
So
and some of the people that we've had turn up to this event have driven some significant distance. I mean,
900
hours.
k's.
Yeah,
Wow.
significant.
What's that miles? I don't know.
Like 600 miles.
Yeah.
500.
Yep.
To get to this park and this event, well, it's not really an event, it's more of a catch-up, right?
Yeah.
That you do quite regularly now.
The same group went to Queensland only a couple of months ago, which is 2,200 kilometres.
1,500
miles. Yeah.
Just to catch up and do that community.
Yeah.
It's a great.
That's a big trip up to that's like across your country, the short way almost, right?
Well, if you ever break down in Australia and someone says, "Oh, how far to the next service station?" and they say, "Oh, it's just down the road," right?
You better have a full tank.
Even coming into this place last fuel, it says no 3 k's to the tavern.
Yeah,
it's not 3 k's. It's probably 10. They had the time made up, and they still got it wrong.
well.
Well,
nice.
so with you guys adopting kind of to petrol now, the market's finally swinging that way for you guys, right? With the off-road stuff, because the older patrols, diesel was king, and I remember when you guys were getting the 5.6, I remember reading a lot of people just kind of pissed off about it, like they did not want to adapt to that.
It hurt too. The Nissan. I'm not saying it right. Nissan.
You say how you.
No, that was perfect.
The Nissan sales
Nissan.
when the Series 1 Y62 went out, it was really bad. They were giving the things away, and they were discounting below cost just to get them off their floor.
Right.
Now, if you want to order one today, you might get one in August.
Wow.
They can't, even to the point where the TIO, our sort of top spec one, they can't take any more orders for them. It's going to be 2022. So they've just stopped taking orders.
Wow.
Yeah.
So let me understand, because you guys have to order. You go to a dealership and you guys kind of have to order, right? Like you just don't, because here in America we just go to a dealership. We want to buy it. You just go buy it.
Yeah, I mean, in the age of compulsive and instant gratification, we don't have that luxury with the Y62. It's at times it's 6 to 7 month wait, right?
It is.
Yeah, to get your car. I mean, you can be lucky because what happens is the dealerships will order their allocation as often as they can.
Right.
So if they've got a month or 3 a week, they'll just keep ordering because they know they're going to get it in. They know they're going to sell it.
Right.
So what you'll find every now and again, if you want black or white, and that's your best chance of getting something quicker because they're generally the two colours that are ordered most frequently.
Right.
But otherwise, on a unique colour in a TIL, then you are going to be waiting 6, 7, even 8 months.
Wow. But now, how have y'all gone from the complete independent suspension from the solid axle stuff? Has the community kind of adapted?
Well, we had a independent cousin that sort of helped us in that sort of respect. So Pajero was always independent.
Right.
All right.
Oh, right.
Pajero and LNS, they went really well. They went places they shouldn't have, and I think caught some people's attention. Discovery, yeah. So there are some platforms and some models out there that have it, but certainly when the Y62 hit the market fully independent, you had the naysayers saying, no, it's not a four-wheel drive anymore. You need live axles to be a four-wheel drive.
Right.
So us and
this is where YouTube really,
yeah,
I think Nissan have got some free marketing out of us because we've gone out and tested these cars to their limits.
Right.
Absolutely. And we've proven that independent suspension does work off-road.
Right. What has been some of the limitations to that suspension, though, that it's taken a minute to kind of go, okay, because solid axles, you know what's going to break. You know, I mean, it's kind of a given. But what was the learning curve with the complete independent?
I think the HPMC, it's been a bit of a learning curve, and that's the hydraulic body motion control that's only available now in any model that you buy. There was an STL version that you bought.
It was my old car,
Your old car that wasn't. There was shocks and springs, but now the hydraulic system is all you can get. And yes, look, you know, they can fail, but it's usually abuse that does that.
Yeah.
And we're learning bump stop. Like that was
the bump stop was a good learning curve as well too.
You know, we lifted the car and the suspension was on full impact. It was traveling too far and the bump stop wasn't appropriate for the lift. But it took us like 3 years to work out why we were blowing HPMC struts and put the bump stop in, all fixed. Yeah. Same as we've learned how to depressurize the HPMC system now and then recharge it. So now we can do break it apart and do core replacements if we want to.
Yeah.
There's
play with valving too, like the pressures.
That's the next thing. Yeah. Pressure is one, and then valving is the second one. So we know how to adjust pressures. A bit more pressure gives you a firmer ride for road, and a bit less pressure gives you more of a squishy ride for off.
Right. Well, look at you guys engineering the shit out of that stuff.
Because you'll find that if you go too much pressure, too much spring, you're going to lose droop, and you're going to affect your down travel. So you really need to find that compromise. But also, we hope to get to that point where you can talk to your modifier, your refitter, your shop, and say, right, this is what I want to do predominantly with the vehicle, and they can adjust and get it set up for that particular style of driving.
In saying that,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dave.
In saying that, pick another car that in Australia, 3.5 tons, like our maximum towing, that can tow 3.5 ton, put 7 or 8 people in it. You can point it at any hill you can find, and it's going to get over it, and almost infinite power. I can't think of another car that has all of that in it.
Broad reach.
Well, I know watching Matt, you put yours through some hell, man. like, because you were a street guy, right? You were kind of a car guy that's just jumped right into off road.
Yeah, so funnily enough, this is my first ever four-wheel drive. I've never been in the scene. I'm in the car. I still am in the performance car, but certainly this has been something that I've put more effort and passion into of late. And it was just getting braver each time I went out, more or less, and then learning the car, learning how to drive it. My brother Trent was really good at spotting and understanding how there's an independent lineup something and there's a live axle lineup something. So this is the other part that you have to learn as you drive these models is that you may have to take a different line, but you're still going to get up the hill. You just need to learn the way to drive the car, the way that the traction control works, the way that the different modes on the center console work with sand or rock or snow or auto. Yep.
Sometimes I forget to put in full drive.
Well,
Doesn't go so well.
I used to have manual hubs, man, and I would always forget to put in the manual hubs up front, and I would be like, "What is going on, man?" But hey, I've got one of our listeners has got a question. He's asking about the front diffs and these things because in the Frontier and the Xteras, they used an aluminum casing that would just shatter. You get any kind of torque to it, and it would just break in half. Do you guys have any of those problems?
No, not with the Patrol.
No.
When you see them, the size of things is enormous.
Yeah.
So, and we're just starting to do diff drops on them built into the casing.
Yeah.
And
the billet diff drop.
The Nissan drivetrain, you can't beat it. It's as strong as it gets.
Right.
What I found with if put it this way, I think the front diff in the Y62 that we drive is, if not the same, bigger than the rear diff in the Armada.
Wow.
It's massive.
Do you know what designation? Do you know the designation of what diff they have in there?
I'm thinking it's like I don't know, like a 48 or more. I'm not too sure.
I couldn't say.
No, but we can send you a picture of it. You know, I've got pictures of it laying on the floor and next to another diff.
We pull them apart all the time. That's
huge.
easy.
Yeah.
We found that
I'd love to see what's in there. I'm like the engineering nerd on this stuff. You know, like when we went out to look at the new Titan that we got out, I'm diving under the car asking the engineers. I'm like, oh, what's the gear ratio in the transmission? And he's like writing down numbers, and I'm like, oh, cool. You know, that's different and stuff like that. But it's super interesting what the differences are and stuff like that.
Yeah, the final drive.
Final drive's 3.2, but then we've learned that we can go and pinch the UAE diff,
the V6.
Yeah, the V6 diffs, and that turns it to 367. So for us, with putting our 35-inch tires on, that's like perfect.
Nice. Wow. Very nice. That's a good little bump in just to make up for that little circumference difference for sure.
Can we show you some magnificent hair?
Yeah.
And look at this guy. This is about Australian as it gets.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's what I'm talking about, brother.
That's definitely a legend there, man.
Hell yeah, brother.
That's great.
What? No beer? Well, he's got no beer. Hand that man a beer. He's gonna send it.
Wrong, double parked.
Yeah. Just gonna send it, mate.
Yeah. The camera's moving.
Camera's following the mullet.
Yeah, for real. It's a natural mullet tracker.
Dude, that's not a mullet. That's a mane right there, man. That's a lion's mane.
That went past mullet status a couple of years ago. That's a full mane, dude.
That's great. So you guys play with the Navara a little bit too. Well, hey, you know, I'm getting there, David. I'm getting there. You guys mess with the Navara a little bit too, right?
Yeah, we do.
So obviously Nissan had a new one pop out this past fall, and I know earlier you said you've seen a couple of them, but is it just a matter that Nissan can't get them to market, or is it just that it's a slow seller?
Yeah, they're trickling in. D23, which was the previous one, was an enormous seller in the Australian market, and parts are plentiful for that, 4-inch lifts and whatever you want. Now, it's only been months, maybe even weeks.
Yeah, month.
Yeah, that we've had this new Navara. And
Okay.
organising to get a CAD scan so we can start getting a real detailed look at it and what we can do.
Yeah.
Take some time to see what's going to happen, but
yeah, we're actually going to undertake a bit of one of the Navara influences, I think, in Australia.
Yeah.
In WA, he's going to basically sort of semi-consult us a little bit as to what he thinks would work and what would be great. And we haven't done this sort of thing before, but you know, for someone that lives in that market, if they have the ability to influence, the final, I think that's only a good thing, right?
And this is a guy that are all the way through every platform.
Massive influencer, massive lineage of following Navara from its inception. So probably a good idea.
Would you guys find that the off-road world is completely different for Patrol versus the Navara guys? Because I know here in the United States, it's strange. Like Xterra guy doesn't really blend. They'll kind of blend with Frontier guy, but Titan guy, full-size guy is completely like they want nothing to do with either.
Yeah.
I don't know. There are different markets, but I think we can be friends.
There's crossover. There's definitely.
I own one of each, so
yeah.
Because I think no one really postures like too hard here. We have a lot of collaboration, a lot of good community, and you know, it's just a badge at the end of the day. We give each other a lot of ribbing, you know, online and around the fire at night. But I mean, that's what it's all about, right? Get around the fire at night and talk about the day, and you know,
the physical size of the Patrol sometimes lend it to some tracks where the Navara is just nimble, can go through.
Yeah.
That suspension at the back, when you put extended links again on there, the track back is incredible. So there's some tracks that will be a Navara will do better than a Patrol and vice versa.
Yeah. So the Navara going coil though, how have you guys adapted to that? Are they enjoying that over leaf springs in the rear?
Wouldn't ever buy a leaf spring ever again after
unless your wife was a chiropractor.
Yeah.
Well, we've been begging for that setup here, and I have a feeling they're still going to do a Nismo version of our Frontier, and it's going to get coils. But why they stick with? I know they always said, well, American audiences need something a little heavier duty versus Australians. But I remember when the Navara first came out, this setup for you guys, like it was a little weak at first. Like the coils, they were a little light, and they needed to beef them up just a little bit more. But we've been begging for that system here.
That took 3 series to get it right. The Series 1, 2, D23 Navara did have suspension issues at the back, but they ended up making a progressive spring from factory, and that fixed it.
Right.
But now we put aftermarket in there anyway, and that solves it.
Yeah.
Now we're good.
Right. So
Yeah,
what? Oh, go ahead.
The Navara, the MP here is really strong. Like,
yeah,
you know, they have Nav Life, you know, all this sort
Nav
of
Life is huge.
Yeah.
It's a massive thing. So, you know, it seems like the kids out, you know, apprenticeships and things that, you know, it's pretty price achievable, the Navara down here, you know. So
the
it's
market,
a stepping stone,
yeah.
right?
They've got a Navara spec for pretty much every budget. So if you want to spend patrol money on a Navara, they've got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'll let you have it in a minute, Dan. What are the cars from America that you guys are like, damn it, I wish we had those here? Versus, because, you know, like I said, Patrol is an iconic name here in the United States that, for whatever reason, Nissan will not bring to the United States. But what are some of the American cars and trucks that you guys want?
Best of me.
Oh, okay. I mean, we used to want Silverados. We used to want, you know, F trucks. We used to want Rams, but they're all here now.
Yeah.
They're all starting to come in. So we've got the Ram. We've got 1500 Ram. We've got the 2500. We've got the Silverado that's here now in a couple of ZR1 specs.
There's one car I've been waiting on, and when I found out the specs on it, I must admit I was so disappointed. The Bronco. I thought when the Bronco, I would do anything to get one of them here. Yeah. And then I saw it with, they're not doing V8 anymore. It's 4-cylinder or something.
Yeah, it's a 4-cylinder turbo 6. Yeah, twin turbo 6.
Yeah.
Trust me, the audience here is a little upset that they're not getting something bigger too.
I mean, in Bronco's defense, though, they are very, very like Ford's turbo engines now are very fast. I mean, the 4-cylinder. I raced a 4-cylinder Ranger with my Frontier the other day, and it was completely laughable. He put like 4 cars on me in 2 seconds. It was mind blowing how quick that motor is. I will say that.
Yeah.
It's like the Mustang putting a 2.3 liter in it. Come on, you can't put anything other than V8 in a Mustang.
Oh no,
Miami.
My G35 whipped so many of those little 2.3 Mustangs ass, man. It's not even funny. Well, so you guys are really pushing for America. What is Nisstec first going to get from you guys, or what is the plan for the United States for the Predator bars and stuff?
Yeah, so we've got now a US specific Predator bar on the water right now. So there's a shipment heading over to Chris and his team over there in Nisstec. It should be there. What are we? March, April. It'll be there and available to buy. I'd say mid-April, late April.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't send too many over in this first shipment, but I think more than half of them are already pre-sold, which is great.
Wow.
The cars, and people will start to share them on social media, on their Instagram accounts, at the car meets, at the shows. People will go, wow, okay, there's starting to be some products now for these Armadas, you know. So we've also sent some roof racks over there, our 3/4 roof rack, so you can utilise the sunroof still. Same as this one here. Yeah.
Now working on accessories that can go onto too.
And our bash plate system. So and ladders. So we've got a rear ladder. I don't know if should we go for a walk? All right, hang on.
Let's do a tour of the car.
Absolutely, I love it.
I'll hold.
So we start at the front.
Yeah.
So this is the Series 5 Predator bar. The big deal with this was the radar and getting all the functionality. So it's got pop-up headlight washers. There's radar. We basically built the whole bar around the radar, so we don't even have to unbolt it. Have to have a winch in Australia and the sensors as well. Then the sun's on this side. Go this side. We're starting to work on the flares. we like your Armada flares.
Yeah.
And like everyone, there was massive demand for like, can we get Armada flares? So we ended up finding out a supplier that can get Armada flares. Can I point out, you know how in other people's cars, like the scratches go this way? My car, the scratches go that way.
You got like what is attacking you? Kangaroos?
No, that
Rocks.
was a wheel lift about that high, Camp
Oh,
Road.
nice.
I zigged when I should have zagged, and she came down hard against the bank. A little bit of a dent there. And like, we're totally, I don't know if you've got these in the States, bush barriers.
We do
So,
not.
Oh, that's cool.
Magnetic, make your car,
Protection, yeah.
you know, we put our costume on for the weekend, and then during the week, we just rip them off, and the car stays clean and no scratches.
Yeah, I need that in my life.
Yeah, bush barriers. I think they do ship to the US. They just
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Big O sliders. So this is something that we've spent a lot of time with the manufacturer, I guess, engineering something that is going to take drivers like me going up Camp Road and smashing the bottom of these cars, and these things will do it. Roof rack system, so that's a 3/4, and we get it to work with the sunroof.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Bit of a hybrid powered system here with the solar panel that I've got running.
Nice.
And because we're also researching lithium batteries. So this car doesn't have a dual battery system, which in Australia is unheard of. Every full drive has a dual battery system. We've got a lithium start battery that we're testing out, and it's working great. We find we don't have to have a dual battery because this can charge at over 100 amps. You can flatten the thing dead flat, drive for an hour, and it'll charge up like to 90%. Massive charging capabilities. Come around to the back. This is the next thing we're playing with. We actually designed this for the Series 1 to 4s as a ladder, not just because it looks cool, we want it to be functional too. Series 5s are a bit different, so haven't released this on our Series 5 market yet, but on the Armadas this will be something we can do, because this part of the car is exactly the same.
Yep.
The roof rack will fit an Armada, and the ladder will fit an Armada too. So I believe there's a few of them coming over, Matt, as well.
Yeah, there's 5 ladders on the way.
Beautiful. I love that. That's so cool. It's nice that it's just a basically a half ladder, so you don't have that giant thing that you got to move or it's sticking out. It's very clean and not so bulky. That's really cool. Looks nice and light.
Next thing we'll develop is a rear bar, something that's light. Something we've got to put the tire somewhere. Whether the spare tire is going to go on the rear bar, or whether we can strengthen the hatch and have it on the hatch. Weight-wise, which is a big deal in Australia because we've got a 3.5 ton maximum we're allowed to put, like the whole car's allowed to weigh. So keeping things light. If you put a big steel bar on the back, that makes it heavy. So if we can think of a lightweight way of doing it, we're going to. So and it's actually a lot harder to make a rear bar than it is a front bar. We've been working on it for 2 years, I reckon.
Yeah.
But we're getting closer. Hopefully this year.
Very cool.
Hey, you want to see something that was really funny today? The only thing that got stuck today was this.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
So
Well,
is that an Australian spec one or is that American? That
well, you can buy them here. Yeah, this is from the Jeep dealers. Yeah, so that's the Gladiator Ute we're getting, or Trail Ute. We call them Utes. Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
how are those doing there? I didn't realize you got those.
doing all right. Yeah, I mean,
There's a few of them around.
Yeah, I mean, people, they're what they are, you know. I mean, it's a Jeep with a small bed.
I mean, out of the box, they're pretty capable. I mean,
Yeah.
most Jeep Rubicon stuff is, but you know, I mean, I don't know. You need to also be a hairdresser, I think. You know.
Dang. Aussie's sending it hard. I love it.
I know.
Looking at like basically sexy parts for a car, that's where this one starts. Everything, a lot of R&Ds happen with this car to make parts for the rest of the community. It's all pretty much billet aluminium. So billet aluminium upper control arms, diff drops, billet rear lower control arms. So this is all done by On Track, which is a kind of an industry leader. Can you get underneath?
I don't know if I can get. Can you get those billet arms on
yeah,
there?
that's it.
Yeah. Wow,
That's
that's
beefy.
really nice.
And that's a billet diff drop.
Billet
as
diff
well.
drop.
Just this is a 4-inch lifted car.
Now that's your truck, right, Matt? That's your.
No,
3062.
mine's getting converted into something special soon. We'll
Okay.
release that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely seeing a lot more 4-inch lifted cars with 37s here. Another one just here. But this is a typical setup for an Australian car. Like, basically, it's one of the best setups, actually. Every Australian car wants a fridge in their back, wants a battery, they want drawers for their tools, and because we do a lot of overlanding, we need somewhere to put our cooking stuff. There's a little oven up the top here, Travel Buddy.
That's a very Australian thing, the little oven, so you could bake up your little pies, right? Am I right on that one?
The rolling bakery, man.
Yeah. That's one big thing that I noticed. I was talking to my Australian buddy about the little oven thing. That's so cool.
We're finding a lot of the cars here being supercharged now too, just to get a bit more, basically another 100 horsepower out of them really easily. So that's a pretty common mod that we're doing now too. Actually, here's another supercharger.
Hey George, pop your bonnet. Pop your bonnet.
Is that the Harrup supercharger that you guys are doing?
Yeah, so there's a 2300 and a 2650. There's two versions.
Oh wow,
So
nice.
50 really pumps some HP, but the 2300 is nice. So
Oh, very
Nice.
cool. Gosh, that thing's probably just has power for days too.
I bet it sounds so sweet too, hearing that whine.
Mm-hmm.
it'll come through the induction, so you can hear it up through the snorkel.
Oh yeah.
And beautiful. Yeah.
It's great.
This vehicle's getting a lot of attention. Before I tell you what lift size on this, see if you can look at it and tell me size-wise. What do you reckon's on it?
For tire size?
Yeah.
If you were the policeman looking at this car, what size tires you reckon?
I mean,
I
right off
could-
the bat, I'd say it's bigger than a 35. I'd think, obviously.
I just put out, like, the perspective of this car is so good because it does have 4-inch lift 37s, but it doesn't look like it
Yeah,
looks
it's
all in.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't look. Yeah, because the vehicle's so big.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Large
the 37s look like they fit just right.
Are you
Which
guys
is
having?
wild for a big tire.
Are you guys having to do much cutting to fit 37s?
None. No.
Oh,
So
wow.
this is what the Armada looks like.
Yeah, this is what you guys are getting.
Nice. Oh, that's beautiful. Is the rear suspension the same on your guys' truck as what we have?
Yes.
Okay.
The suspension one. Yes. The arms are different.
Okay.
The lower arms are smaller. We're actually still looking into whether we can just like retrofit some 62 arms into the rear, but we're not sure as yet.
Gotcha. Man, those
They're
things are
making me want an
beautiful.
Armada again, Danny.
I know, man. Tell you what, dude. My wheels are turning, thinking, oh man, maybe I should, because I have the earlier Armada, the one based off the Titan platform.
Yeah.
I put a couple inch lift on it, and it's on about 35s right now. That's more of a grocery getter. I've only taken it on like one trail, but
Right.
man, these things look really, really good. You guys are killing me over here, spending my money.
Everywhere you look now, you're seeing these amazing rigs, and the way they're set up, and they're really embracing it.
For sure.
I'm on every trip. Actually, I'll take it. This is what happens usually about 11, 12 o'clock. We go.
Oh yeah.
Roll the seat down. Excuse my messy car. And we've got the pies.
Dude, it's so rad. So
That is
rad.
cool.
Gonna flick them on.
It's just a little bit
It's
hotter,
about
mate.
an hour. We'll have that ready. I don't know if you also saw, we've got an airbag set up with twin compressor under the false floor. This is a big thing in Australia as well. We take the third row seats out and put this false floor in, and then we can put twin compressors underneath, airbags. If we want to adjust our airbag temperature, we can just press buttons up and down. Not great for
Very
audio,
nice.
but yeah, easy adjustment of airbags.
Super clean.
So- Getting Australians what we do in the back of the car is so important.
Yeah.
Well, I'd tell you what we do in the back of the car in America, but it's a family show.
Also very important.
If this wagon's rocking, don't come a knocking, sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Well, so Nisstec sometime in April is going to have this stuff, and you said that most of it seems to be pre-sold, man. That is awesome. I mean, I'm happy to see, because I know we had talked about a year or so ago about like, hey, what do y'all think of this market? And I'm like, they don't wheel them here. Why? I don't know, but I think once they see the stuff that y'all are about to bring here, it's going to spark some interest, because the Land Cruiser guys don't even do anything.
Just looking at this, Dave. Yeah, looking at your trucks right there. I mean, you see a couple of those, and it starts getting the wheels turning in your head. I think it's just a matter of people seeing a couple out there doing it to change your minds. And kind of like what you were saying, right now we're going to start seeing some secondhand stuff from the last couple of years, and it's not gonna hurt so bad when you buy one of these for 20,000 less than what the first guy bought it off of, that's all fully loaded or whatever. You're not going to feel so bad about getting a couple scratches on it, or bringing it out and doing what you want to do with it. So it's definitely going to be cool to see some of these.
Yeah, just finding that combination of people over in the US that are social media savvy and want to build parts and get out and test the limits of the Armadas. As soon as you get a few guys doing that over there, it's going to boom like it does here in Australia, I'm sure.
Well, I know a guy, if you could talk him there in the LA area, that would probably love to have some parts to be a promoter. I know.
I gotta get a new tow vehicle, and I might just have to upgrade my current tow vehicle.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you'll have a ball. They're great. They're great. They're a great car, great platform. Do anything. Reliable. Sound good. Go good. Point shoot.
Well, we did some time. Nissan built what they called Snow Patrol here in the United States, where they took an Armada and put it. And I put about 100 miles on that thing, and it was fun to drive. And 35s on it didn't feel like anything on that thing. So I can only imagine you guys. Your platforms are built a little better, I think, than what we get. So sure, it can handle those.
Well, as Dave said earlier, once we start to play with the final drives, and we account for bigger tires and weight and things like that, then the car is modified and looks and goes great, but it still drives like a factory car. So that's it has that factory characteristics. It's not a boat. It's not dangerous. It drives well.
So by changing the front upper control arms and adding in some caster and camber. Same with the rear lower billet control arms. We can make them 10 mil longer, and
negative.
we can get the geometry basically back to standard.
Wow.
And have road weapons too.
Yeah.
Well, Dan, any final questions here, man?
Oh gosh, you got me, man. Let me look and see what the guys are saying.
I know the ladder's a big hit. I know, David, I was watching your vlog from the other day, and I know you're still trying to work out some of the kinks of the ladder for this newer version, right?
Yeah, right.
What are I know it's hard to convert U.S. prices, but what are some of the prices do you think roughly U.S.?
Well, okay, we're testing the market right on about the $19.99 for the front bars.
Okay.
The underbody protection is going to be around about $400 US, $450 US, something around that figure.
Right.
Be about around about $350 to $400 US. So we're trying to work that out at the moment. We're talking with Chris and his team about pricing and what the market will accept and buy. We don't want to come in heavy because we don't want to scare away our audience. It's a bit of a balance, but I think we've always been transparent. We're always very collaborative with all our communities. So I think the market will tell us what they're worth, and we'll probably sell them.
And there's a massive steel tax to bring anything to the US from anywhere.
Yeah,
that makes it.
Right, I bet that's ridiculous.
Have you guys had a rise in steel prices where you're at? Because I know we're at where we're at, and I'm sure that might be part of it. Is our steel prices have gone up? I don't know. I don't want to say it's double, but at least a quarter of what they were.
Cost prices have gone up, but so we can maximize the market, we've kind of taken the hit on that because we want to get into the market, and hopefully while everyone else is putting prices up, we're going to stay flat and take a market share.
Yeah, we're just excited to get our products on some US cars, get some social exposure. have some good banter and some good collaboration with some resellers and shops eventually in the US, and start developing and pushing and giving you guys a lot of options for Armadas for years to come.
Well, that is awesome, man. Well, guys, we appreciate you guys being on here today. I know the timing is weird. It's weird that it's Saturday for you. It's Friday for us. It's a weird thing, but I definitely want to check back in a few months with you guys to see how the impressions that you're getting from people using your product.
Absolutely, yeah. And if you want to send people our way on social media, and
of course,
hashtag some of your stuff as well. Like, let's go.
Yeah, I can start saying the word Nissan.
Yeah,
no, say this.
Think of that like you're in Texas. Nissan.
Yo, come back now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hey, trust me, the early days of the podcast, I would say a very country Nissan like that, and then people be like, "Dude, what are you saying?" It's like even in the States they can't even say it right. So, but here's the thing, David. We don't say Nissan, say All Terrain Nation. That's the key right now. Is
Nation. That's a change, right? Change.
That's right. Danny still has the podcast area or the NNP part, but this is the big home. So we're definitely, that's part of the excitement here, is that we want to talk to people from around the world, and it doesn't even matter if it's Nissan or whatever. But I'm pumped that anything we can do to help you guys, whatever we can do, we're glad to help you guys, and glad to have you on today.
Yeah, thanks for having us, man. It's been a ball.
Great to talk to you guys.
Yeah. So guys, go to YouTube for one thing. You're already on YouTube, but after you watch this, go to Dash Off-Road. David has a bunch of just years worth of video, man. It's crazy how much you've accumulated on there.
Yeah, 270 something videos. Wow. And I'm doing one
nice.
today.
Yeah, you'll see today.
The only thing you won't see is me doing this. I feel like I should start vlogging what we're doing now.
See,
double vlog.
See, there we pick up 2 subscribers right there, Dan.
Nice.
Well, guys,
and, real quick, before we go, what are you guys drinking over there right now?
Cooper's Green Pale Ale.
When you come to South Australia, this is the only way to fly.
Oh, me and Danny are
Nice.
coming. We're coming over there. The next 5 years, we'll be over there.
We got you. That's what you say, right? We got you.
We got you, bro. I love it. Exactly.
I love it too. Well, guys, go enjoy the rest of your morning there, and we'll check back with you in a couple months.
Enjoy the pies, boys.
Yeah.
Yes, enjoy the pies.
Pies.
Well,
Yeah.
all right, man. So there you go. There was Dash Off-Road, and let's see if I can get Danny back on here. Where did you go, Danny? Where did you go? Give me just a second, because I gotta find Dan. And no, not Riley the car guy. I have so many things here with Dan. It's kind of ridiculous. DeGrootex. So what did you guys think of that? I mean, we've been trying to get more content like that on the channel. And I'm honest to God, I'm pumped. Those guys, I've known David for a little bit, and there's Dan. Let's see if this will work out real quick. But I've been, like I said, we did a podcast with Matt there. There's Danny.
Man, dropped me like a rock.
Sorry, man. I'm still working out some of the kinks of the situation. But Danny, that makes me want. You know how hot, after coming back from the Titan adventure, how hot I was to buy an Armada.
Yeah,
and
for sure. And I'm with you on that. I'm literally just sitting here like Googling, 2017s, finding, what's the price range on them. Those things, man, what a beautiful rig. And then I'm, driving somewhere, especially if you're going on a long trip, like sometimes that we do. Last time I went on a trip, it was about 800 miles or so. Getting older, you want some of that comfort to get out to the trail.
Yep.
Like if it's a long trip, you don't want to sit there in something that's bouncy and
because you got
on the road well.
In your Frontier, man, it's a tight subject now, right? With 3 kids and
yes,
all the gear you got to take.
It's my last trip with my 2 grown girls and my wife and me. We were so packed in that truck, and I'm like, this is the last time I'm doing it with this truck. My red truck is now like solo or 2 people. If I go on a big trip with all the gear, I'm taking either the Armada or getting something bigger. Whether it's a full size truck or now, of course, you got the wheels spinning on me because Dash is sending out cool, fun stuff. So.
Sorry, Dan.
Every time I swear, every time we do one of these shows, it's like, wait a second, what should I do now?
I know, man. Guys, if you're new to me, like on the Nissan channel we had, like I was ready for, because I was talking to these guys about 2 years ago, about getting some gear up here, and they were all excited by it, and just the Armadas are so expensive new, like, and finding something I would want. I was still looking at $35,000 to $40,000, Dan. So now they're starting to get
on
like
the low end.
Yeah, so now they're starting to get. I think you could probably 28, 30.
Yeah, I was just looking 2017s. With 70,000, 80,000 miles, they're in the 24s.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were. That might not have been a 4-wheel drive. That is nothing super special. But at the same time, if you're going to be taking something off road, you may not want all the extra doodles and daddles.
Right. Well, B. Warren says do a QX80 just to be different. B. Warren, there is a kick-ass QX80 that goes out to Gone Moab that's on 37s, and it is a wicked vehicle, man. So that's definitely out there. So Dan, we've got a couple things to get into. For one, I appreciate you waking up in time to be on the show, man.
Yeah, I had a super early morning, so I came home from work, and I was gonna do a cat nap, but it turned into a straight a cat sleep. I was out. Dave sent me a text, and I kind of rolled over, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's almost showtime!" So I had to smash some coffee today. I haven't even had anything to drink yet.
Bro, come on, Monster with me, bro.
Hold on. I'm gonna finish that coffee.
Oh, dude,
Let's
I've been
get
on
into the second half of the show.
This is margarita night for me, buddy. So we can. I think I've said this before. So when COVID hit, Dan, they let you do to-go margaritas in these little cups.
Oh yeah.
So you get a picture of them, which is 4 of these things, and Dave's about to hit number 2, and it's not going away. Our local government said no, we'll just keep that alcohol sales like that because I'm sure it's a lot of money there.
I'm down with that. Hey, you know what? QX80s are pretty. Like you can get a 2015, which is much closer to the that it's before the Armada, but because Infiniti started coming out with these earlier. I'm looking at 22,000 for one with 80K on it. That's pretty sweet.
The only bummer to those is, and even the 17 Armadas, is the goofy, outdated tack or dash that the digital miles on it. It's just like so outdated on these things, man.
Yeah,
that's what took me out from buying one a year ago. I swear to God, like I was like, I would hate to buy something and already feel it looks old.
Yeah, and I would say that the Infiniti headlights and front nose is very like whale looking.
Yes.
I've never liked the front end on those. From basically halfway down the hood back, the truck is, I think it looks great, but man, that front, the headlights are just too small and they kind of sit way
with the
low.
newer version.
It's weird looking.
The newer version of that, they did fix that because that version you're probably looking at still looks like a Mack truck or something. The way that the headlights sit low above the hood and
there's just like a big blank space above the, and even in the earlier version that was the Titan based version, they just very whale looking.
Yeah. Well, maybe the channel after we get Bronco, maybe that's our next project build is an Armada.
If I don't get to it first, Dash. And then if the NMP doesn't get to it
first. Are we like, is it Battle Royale? Which channel can get one first?
I mean,
Dan, this channel puts out videos.
You're still, but you're still waiting on the. You may be able to get one and mod it and off road it for a year before you even see that stinking.
Oh my God!
You ordered for heaven's sakes. If you guys haven't seen Dave's most recent video,
Jesus. So we'll get it. Let's get into Bronco a little bit. I know this has been pretty Nissan heavy, but so Ford, the Bronco, Danny, when it premiered last year, I was blown away enough to be a Nissan guy to go want to buy a Ford product. And I haven't bought a new Ford product since 1997. So it took a lot for me to want to do that, and the hype was so real with that thing, man. Just people wanted it, and the video of Bryan Cranston out in the desert, you hear the narration, was badass, and they effed everything else up about this vehicle since then. And so this past week, there all these goofy options. All these goofy options that, oh, you can get a hard top, well, you can get a colored, or you can get the body match, like Jeep already does. For whatever, the Ford just likes to use COVID. And after a while, I said this in my video yesterday, COVID only gets about 2 more months of an excuse from me. And then we're gonna just go, no, Ford, you're just effing this all up is what it is. But so they took away the body, you could get a painted black top. And they were like, well, we can't do that till the end of 21 now. And now they came out and said, oh, well, we can't do that till 22. But they won't give you a date in 22 they can actually produce it. So that's kind of strange. Well, then they decided, well, we'll give people the sound deadening liner in the top to kind of offset it a little bit. And then I get an email today saying, well, due to such demand and everything, that a lot of people that thought they were getting 21s aren't getting them now. They're going to be 22s. And here's the kicker. Most manufacturers kill off the model year around August, September, somewhere there. Not Ford with the Bronco. They're going to produce 21s all the way to December. So how would you like to get in December a 21 and know the next month that, well, what the F, man? I mean, like, it's already way old. So
no, I totally understand that, man. It's weird, dude. It's still a weird time in the automotive industry. I just saw another thing about microchips or processors and stuff like that. It's been kind of the news that keeps popping its head up, like, hey, we're auto manufacturers are gonna have to be pushing back time frames because of this. And so in order to probably hit their numbers is probably what they probably have to manufacture it for that long in order to hit all the pre-orders and stuff like that.
Well, pre-orders are still into mid to 2022. That's how far. That's how before they can ever get them on the retail, and they're still freaking taking pre-orders. It's the dumbest thing I would have stopped pre-orders like 1 month in. I would have done pre-orders. It would have made it really more special, and then just been like, you guys are gonna have to wait.
Yeah, that's it's weird because I've never, like, usually the people that are in the situation you're in and all these people that are pre-ordering and stuff like that, that's like weird supercar stuff.
Yeah.
Like this has never been for, a middle of the line off-road vehicle. You don't pre-order something and wait years, a year for it. It's just like, that's just not something that we deal with. That's supercar stuff, or like the GT 500, there's a limited release of them and you order it and you get it whenever you get it and you're happy with that. But
right. So the Bronco is, it's obviously, guys, it's the one video I seem to only can do on this channel for reasons that, like, I'm hinting at other things I want to do and there's no interest. It's crazy. But I do, Danny, I do have a new video that I'm going to do the C8 Corvette. I'm going to do a build and price how I would spec a C8 Corvette.
Yeah, no, I dig that. And I'm interested to see what the top to bottom is, stripper versus the housewife version.
Well, I'm a middle ground guy.
Expensive Beverly Hills housewife version.
Right. Well, I've done a quick run through of it, and I'm very surprised at what you can get for $70,000, man. And it's damn near supercar status. But okay, so I have to address the elephant in the room, guys. So.
Or the lack thereof.
Yeah, what was it? 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago.
I took on and I was already grown it for 3 weeks. My facial hair was already grown for 3 weeks. And so you guys got 5 weeks out of facial hair with me. But here's the thing. I had to trim the sides because I had an official company thing I had to do. I couldn't. Well, here's the thing, Dan.
You have no beard policy in your company?
No, listen. So the front looked okay. But I have like 4 hairs on the side, and it was like getting like pubes sticking out of the side of my face, man. It was a little ridiculous. So I trimmed that up, and you beard people. So the longest I've ever grown it before that was about 2 weeks, and I was like, I can't do this. So I got 5 weeks, and dude, it was driving me freaking nuts. Like I was constantly just.
There's a phase. There's an itchy phase, Dave, that you have to push through. And like, don't get me wrong, like I haven't been able to grow a beard in a long time, but at 3, for me, because I have a real facial hair set,
right,
at 3 weeks it gets really itchy, and then after that, you kind of get used to it. And it's not as itchy, but there's definitely like an itchy phase.
Well, it was
that
getting
really bothers
soft.
you.
I will say it was kind of getting soft, but it just. I came home that night, and I told Kelly, I was like, I can't do this, man. I said this. I was literally up here researching something, and I was just like, I couldn't stop messing with it. So here's what I'm going to do. I was given $100, $50 by two different people to do that. I'm going to donate, even though when you guys donate money to me on this channel, I only get about 60% of that. That's just how YouTube works. I'm donating $100 to, we're going to have to pick a charity here, and I will do it tonight if we pick a charity, and I will donate $100 of money to a good charity. A good charity. I don't want some crazy.
Let's do that. Can we do the Warrior Fund, Ryan Miller's Warrior Fund?
Of
whatever
course
that
we
one
can.
Is.
Of course we
got to
can.
give it a shout out.
So let me find a link to this thing, Dan. And I would rather, well, for one, I just like giving. I like helping that charity out anyways. Are you texting Ryan to get the actual?
Yeah, I'm texting Ryan.
But yeah, if we can get Ryan on to tell us about that, I will definitely take care of that, because, you know, for one, seriously, it's going to cost me. It's costing me about $40 anyways to donate this, so I'm happily to give that $40 extra to. Oh, Bill Potter says Colorado 4x4 in rescue and recovery. What if I did 50 there and 50 at for Ryan?
I like that.
I'm gonna let the audience. They have to, since they donated money, especially Bill, and who else gave for that? But Bill, if you'll get me a link to that, I'll definitely do that. But I seriously, Dan, I you guys that love beards and can do that, my hat's off to you. For one, like you could see my goatee-ish part of it, but the other part was a joke, man. Oh, Smitty, you guys don't have to donate to this. This is because, you know, Dave.
Hey, there you go. You know what? Nothing like some good cause in a rough time, man.
That's right. Let's see it.
Smitty,
there's
correct me if
Manzelli.
I'm wrong. Are you a military guy? Miso's popping in. What's up? Thanks, boys.
Yeah, man. Cheers. Hey, cheers, everybody. Some margarita from me. Dan's got a cup of Dan over there. I don't know what's in it. I'm scared to ask.
We got a little Old Forester bourbon.
Nice. I need to break out the good stuff.
TLS veterans.
All right, let me see if I can find it. And I'm
transforming lives through service to veterans. So I think that's one that Ryan Miller is.
TLS veterans.
Yeah.
There it is.
TLSveterans.org. So maybe throw that in the description, and if you guys want to, Ryan Miller's ex-Army airborne, if I remember right. I think he was airborne. Super cool vet. Good friend of the show. So we always like to support his charities, because he's a cool guy, and he knows a lot of good dudes that are. And that he just said it's a local in Chicago, and they take care of homeless veterans. They take them out and help them with PTSD, and they take them out.
Well, I am getting a. Y'all don't want to see that. Let's see. I am getting a connection is not private for that website, Dan. It literally says attackers may try to steal your information from.
Oh, that's all right. No, you get that with some sites. Just don't worry about that.
Let's see. I'm gonna advance.
Bill Potter said, "Give it all to Ryan's cause." So.
No, I want to spread the love, man. Let's see. Donate now. Make sure I got.
I like when Miso Honey posts something and it says message retracted, because Miso kind of gets a little spicy sometimes, I think. I love it. I'm just so curious. What's he saying? What's he trying to say? B Warren, hey, by the way, what's up, B Warren? Smitty's Garage. If you guys don't follow Smitty's, Smitty's Garage, that guy does some cool stuff. He's building his Xterra, which is a V8 Xterra, redoing the rear end. Super rad Impala that he has. Or wait, is it Impala?
No, it's a GTO.
Smitty? GTO, that's what I'm sorry. Some crap Chevy product.
It's not even a Chevy product, Dan.
No. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a Pontiac, right?
Jeez,
Sorry.
car guy.
I know. Yeah. Check his channel out. He's got a lot of good fun stuff on there.
Let's see.
He said the soul patch should look like miso honey. The soul patch should look like a rat tail by now. Sprinkle some fertilizer on it.
What did he say? Soul patch.
Oh,
I actually trimmed this up, man, because it was getting wily and burly too, man.
Oh man, miso coming in hot with the quips. Love it.
Let's see. I'm not a robot. It's good to know.
You're doing this live.
I'm doing it. I'm going to. I want to prove to everybody. I'm going to show the receipt, man.
And Dave, maybe throw that in the comments, and we'll try and plug that. You know, nothing wrong with helping out some vets. It's obviously near and dear to my heart. There's a couple really good smaller charities like that they really make the most of the money and stuff. So. Holden Monero, technically. Oh, look at you with the. I mean, in true Australian fashion.
All right,
Dave.
Hold on, I'm listening.
What's the first mod that the Bronco's going to get once you get it?
Wheels and tires, Danny.
Yeah. Are you getting it with 33s and you're just going to throw?
No,
35s
I'm
on
buying
it,
it in the Sasquatch package with 35s, but I'm not a fan of those Goodyear tires whatsoever. I think they just look horrible.
That's a brand. Well, first off, Dave, let me say this. I think you should run those tires and see what you think of them for a while, because that's a brand new Wrangler, and from the looks of them, it looks like a nice tire.
I'm not a Goodyear guy, man. I'm putting I can't decide if I'm going to, and I'll probably let the audience decide whether I put KO2s or KM3s on it.
Well, promise me you're going to take it out on a couple trips with those tires before we.
No, because I can trade them right in. I'm literally going from the dealership right to get rid of those tires. So I guess I could give you a 5 mile.
You're like really a hater on. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not a Goodyear fan at all. But anytime there's a new tire, I'm willing to give it a shot. But you're just throwing that right out the window,
dude. No, it's not really. I mean, I could run them, but this sounds horrible. But the name of the YouTube game is all right. So there you go, guys. As you can see, there's the first donation of $50. I don't know why I didn't say 50 on there, but I did donate 50. So as you guys can see, and that is like Danny said, it's TS Veterans. Here's their website. If you guys want to jump on that, I'm sure Ryan Miller would appreciate. Here, I'm gonna copy this and put it in the chat box here. Maybe. Gosh, damn it, I can't right now. All right, so next up, let me get back to me and Dan here. All right, Dan, so there was the first 50. Now, what was the other one Bill Potter said?
Well, he said put it all on that one.
No, but I think it's only right that I spread the love a little bit, man. All right, Bill, what was the I'll scroll up here. I'll find it. Colorado 4x4 and rescue. Let's see. Can we Google this up? Danny, what's going on in your world right now, man?
Not much. I'm headed out. This on Sunday for a little camping trip. Not real camping, but trailer camping. With the wife and kids to a super bougie camp spot. Where you pull in and there's pools and stuff like that. So the old Armada is going to hook up to the trailer and pull that thing up. I got to change spark plugs in it, change the oil and stuff. Make sure that she's running tip-top shape.
Nice.
And then after that, I am going to be up at Beale Air Force Base. Like I get back, and then the next weekend, I'm going to Beale Air Force Base for 3 weeks for training, bomb building training. That's fun. Except it's not, because I'm stuck on the base and they won't let us leave, and they're giving us all kinds of trouble about not being able to do anything.
Wow.
So not looking forward to that. And, I'll try and be on. I don't know what my schedule is going to look like. It sounds like we're going to be on 12-hour shifts and stuff for the training. So doesn't sound exciting. But I might be able to be on. I may be able to. I'm going to bring all my gear because I'm going to be driving up there. So I'll have all my gear in the. They're kind of like, they're not really hotel rooms, but they're it's like shared bathroom, weird rooms. So I might be able to stream from there and whatnot. So hopefully I'll still be able to hop in and do the thing with you guys. May do some Nissan shows from there as well, but we'll see. I won't know until I get there.
Well, let's see. So I got $50 here. I'm
The Kevin Minay Foundation.
What did Kevin say?
He said the other 50 is for the Kevin Minay Foundation.
He wants his money back that he's donated. Oh man! All right, so pay now.
But I will say, Dave, I put some fresh new rad flows on the Red Frontier,
Really?
and it's like a new truck all over again. My old shocks were so blown out, and having a new set of shocks on there, man, front and rear, it makes it feel so much better. So that's kind of nice.
Well, there you go, guys. So there you can see the other 50 is to the Colorado 4x4 Rescue and Recovery. So there, I've donated $100, and hopefully I do not have to go through anything like that again, Dan, because that was pretty freaking horrible.
Oh, jeez. Dave's over here crying a river because he didn't shave. Like, meanwhile, I'm over here. I have to shave every single day, nonstop, and I would pay good money to be able to not shave for 6-8 weeks.
Oh, poor guy.
Poor little baby. I'm so sorry that you had to go to a work function and you looked like a 15-year-old kid that didn't know what's what.
Well, let's see. So, what do we got in the comments, man? Anything good? We've
I think they're all just saying how much of a sad sack you are.
Wow. So Dan, like I text Dan, I was like, Dan, this has got to go, man. And you were calling me a pussy and all kinds of stuff then. And
well,
so,
I saw you post and saying you were going to put some money towards a nonprofit or whatever, and I was still a little disappointed in you. I thought you should have given the money to a nonprofit and still held the bet.
wow.
That would have been the right thing to do.
That would have been more classy. Sorry, man. I'll we'll figure something else out that maybe down the road that we can donate to. But I want to say thank you to everybody who's been crushing it watching my videos on this channel, man. Like you guys have went ridiculous, and I appreciate it. And Danny, the channel's making a little bit of money now, man. And
that's good.
It's not near full-time money for me just yet, but we're getting closer. So I appreciate that. And I'm trying to, I know, Dan, you understand how hard it is. You're doing 2 channels now, like what I was doing before. Like,
yeah, I'm doing 2 channels half-ass. I mean, I was doing my own channel half-ass. Now I have to do 2 channels half-ass. So it's like twice it's more like twice the burden and a quarter of the work is what I've been doing lately.
Well,
I just feel even worse now that I'm not putting videos out.
Well, but Dan, I seen you shared Nissan Z stuff the other day, man.
Yeah, there was some fresh pictures and video of the Z, and I think it was actually out here in LA.
An import or like somebody from shipping something? What was that about?
I'm not sure. It's out here. From what I understand, it's out here in LA
There's
somewhere.
There's a couple of them.
Yeah,
they're both gray.
And the one that I shared was a automatic transmission one, so it had a kind of a weird looking shifter, and I think that was the biggest takeaway from the video. And obviously it was gray, so that's kind of like the first. I want to say that might be the first one we've seen in that color.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of cool to see that new car out. Again, it was it was an automatic transmission.
But here's the thing, Dan. It's a 8-speed dual clutch automatic, if my understanding.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a Mercedes transmission.
Really? That's very interesting. I haven't been super up on that. But that would be pretty cool. If that's what it was, that would be. If it's got paddle shifters,
yeah,
that would be cool.
I'll like the idea of a cool like manual transmission car is awesome, but the idea of 400 horsepower with a dual clutch system,
the dual clutch trans are awesome.
That kills the Supra. I'm telling you right now, that setup at 400 horsepower with that car, and they're saying right now that a supposed insider is saying that Nissan's going to release a price starting at 37,000.
which would be pretty amazing.
Yes, that
And
would.
you wonder if that dual, the DC, we'll call it a DCT, if that's going to be a more expensive option than a manual.
Well, they're offering a potential sport. I forget what. There was like 3 potential versions they were going to do. And I mean, I'm sure all the way up to about 60,000 is what you're going to pay. But we got Mr. Kevin Alpine Tribe in Copeland in the house.
Yeah,
Donating $1.99. Thank you, sir. Thank you for that. But that, I have to say, the new Z, like when me and you did the launch of that thing on the NMP, man, it was a good launch. It wasn't the best launch I'd seen. I think it was the second best of the year. But they gotta quit showing that.
As far as something big that came out.
Quit showing that goofy yellow one. That yellow is ugly as ass yellow to me.
It's not great.
And the wheels, the concept wheels and all that, it keeps floating from Japan back over to the United States from Japan. But I was told when that thing launched that they were going to be on sale this fall.
Really?
Yeah, because the basic underpinning's still 370 or 370Z. It's, I mean, people shit on that, but it's like that's why the price is 37,000 and not like the Supra at 60,000. I have zero issue with the 370Z. So other than reskinning it and tuning it a little better, and a dual clutch. Like, I was excited for the manual transmission in that, but knowing there could be a potential dual clutch setup in that is freaking amazing. Well, Alpine coming in strong.
Nice.
Thank you, sir.
Kev? Yeah, that would be a game changer, I think, and it would put them up a level in the, the quality and the coolness, so then you have 2 different really cool cars, in my opinion. If it's just an automatic that just shifts like regular, you have the car that people buy, and then you have the enthusiast car, which is a manual.
Right.
I think with the DCT, you're gonna have 2 different really cool versions of that car.
Right. And I've heard rumors say that within the Nissan community that transmission will start anything Infinity rear-wheel drive or Nissan rear-wheel drive. So there's potentially a new Nissan car coming rear-wheel drive that transmission will be in it.
Yeah, that would be some cool stuff.
So definitely, we had said on the NMP that the CVT was not going away completely, but that it was going away for a lot of their cars. And news like that, just I think it should excite the base a little bit, man.
Yeah, I fully agree. It should be. I mean, it'll be fun to see how that shapes up, and what people do, or what other manufacturers do to combat that, and come out with the same cool stuff.
Yeah. Would you do some time in that car if Nissan sent one over?
Would I? I would take it straight to Willow Springs. Is what I'd do.
Nice, man. That's the race car driver in Danny coming out.
Yeah.
Speaking of race car, man, any word on your truck? We hadn't heard anything in a while. I know you were looking for a transmission for a while.
I have a Turbo 400 that is going to be built as soon as I send over some funds for it. So that's the new plan.
So go watch Danny's videos on NMP, guys.
Yeah. So, and I have that video 90% done that I do the walk around of the what's being called the scoop truck, which is the Nissan $1 million trophy truck that they built back in the late 90s. That's been rebuilt, which is going to be racing in Nora pretty soon. So I have that one 90% done. I got to finish up, which now that I'm going to have some time coming up, I may be able to get to finish that up. So it's just some fun stuff like that. Well,
anything on the NMP side coming up that these guys over here would like to know about?
Well, that's what's going on in the NMP, the scoop truck, and I'm doing live Wednesdays. Every other Wednesday, I think is how I'm going to do it, just because that it's a little bit better for me as far as putting in the time, trying to hop in these shows once a week with Dave, and then getting shows on the NMP live,
which I'm still producing.
Yeah.
I thought I needed to jump. I thought the other day I was like, you know what, I should jump in there. I was going to jump in that video the other day, and I was like, because you had a good interview going on the other day. I know it was kind of a Danny centric
Kind of.
thing.
Okay, so let me make a comment on that, Dave. So I had, if you guys are familiar with Terra Crew, you probably not. It's a super bro channel, but they get a lot of desert race trucks, desert bangers as they call them. Just a lot of long travel 2-wheel drive trucks, dune trucks and stuff like that. And one of the big names in that is a guy named James. And I wasn't like starstruck, but at the same time,
You were starstruck.
yeah, I really wanted to bring him on because one, I want to get on their show with my race truck. I think it'd be great for my
your
channel.
normal Frontier could be on that show.
It's not caged. It's not quite long travel. Maybe it'll get an honorable mention in the race truck bid. When I can get that going. But he's a cool dude, and we have a ton in common. And it was pretty fluid, and I was really happy to be able to chat with him. But I think there's some good things that are going to be coming down the line with that. So yeah, that was a really good time for me as far as just like chatting with somebody that's just completely the same interests and stuff. So,
well, guys, Danny is nearing 5,000 subs over on the NNP, man.
Yeah, mostly due to Dave's work, but I've been putting in the work for a very long time before Dave turned it into a YouTube channel. So
you did
mostly just showing up.
I will say back in the day, I remember Danny started a little group of people who were doing a little bit of YouTube stuff, and I remember you pushing for that 1,000 sub market. I remember like anybody I could get, I was like, Danny's got to get 1,000 subs, because back then I just thought, well, that means the channel's funded, not knowing there was the whole hours thing you got to do and stuff. And
yeah.
But yeah, man, I enjoyed your interview. Like, I was sitting here listening to it, and I had talked to you before that, and I was like, dude, there's certain times Danny will get excited about a guest, and I'll just be like, oh my God. And I'm sure there's the same way with you. I'm sure there's certain times you're just like, well,
yeah, we both geek out on different things.
Yes.
I mean, and part of that is just like our upbringing and what we grew up driving and liking and getting gravitated towards. And you have, certain people that you're just like, oh, these are the guys. And I would say that today's show with the Dash guys, I think we're both very into like the whole international scene and the differences. And I really love those Dash guys. They're so cool. And they're just doing different stuff. They're into, like, nobody out here. Well, not nobody. There's just a lack of that scene for what we were talking about, in the Y62. And so it's really cool to see the big differences. I mean, the whole, like, they have it's like a microwave oven, or it's like I don't even know. It's not a microwave oven. It's like a toaster oven in the back of all these trucks, because that's how they roll. And they roll these little pies. And it was my Australian buddy was trying to tell me about it. I'm like, what are you talking about? And then I looked into it, and that's how they roll, man. They make these little pies, and it's just like the weirdest thing that's just completely different. But at the same time, half of us have stoves that pull out and stuff like that.
I didn't know about
or whatever that we're cooking up meat on.
I didn't know
that's a big
about,
thing.
Yeah,
that's a huge thing out there.
So what are they, like meat pies, or I mean, what is? The deal?
They're like little meat pies, like shepherd's pies, and they're not exactly like a shepherd's pie, but that's the kind of thing. It's a little lunch pie kind of a thing, and they cook them up in their little fryers there, or their little toaster ovens.
Yeah, I mean, he showed that
so different.
He showed that one, and then it was funny. He went right to his truck and was like, and he had it loaded up, ready to go, man.
Yeah, it's a big thing, dude. Like, that's how they roll, dude. They have like toaster oven type things.
Yeah. So I guess what we need a toaster in our car. I'll just put like one of the little pop down toasters in our car, and we can be like.
In my opinion, I think the only thing better than a meat pie is a hair pie. Am I right, Kevin?
Ladies and gentlemen, Daniel Groder's last show on this channel.
I love a meat pie.
No, you are right though. It's like I knew that would be a middle ground interview for me and you, because like me and Danny's talked about, we're going to Australia one of these days, man.
Yeah.
And I looked the other day, and I think it was like a $10,000 round trip ticket right now, man.
Well, and the thing
Business
is
class.
too is like for like Australians, if they were to come out here, there you have to get on like a waiting list to get back and stuff. And then
Yeah.
travel. I have some kind of family in Australia right now, and we've been talking a lot recently about travel, and it's just like their vaccines and stuff aren't quite as far out, or they're not getting vaccinated quite at the rate that we are and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And they're really like locking down travel in and out of the country. And so it's just not a good time. But I mean, I don't know if this year was going to be our year for Australia. But it
No.
would be good if we could try and get out there, next year or the year after or something like that. I think that might be very doable.
Well, I think we make a stop in Japan because I got to see.
Oh.
I got Tokyo in Australia, Melbourne area. Those are bucket list places for me, man.
Well,
Like-
yeah, the Nissan headquarters, or
Yeah.
what's that one place that there's a museum there?
What's their heritage? They have their heritage
Yeah,
collection.
the heritage
at the
collection.
HQ.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that would be a beautiful place to go to.
And I'm pretty sure we could get into that. As much as money as we've helped Nissan raise over the years. No, it's longer than 18-hour flight. That's a 26-hour flight to Australia from here. So, but definitely Tokyo is on my bucket list, and I want to get to Australia. And after that, dude, it's all gravy, man. So wherever these channels end up taking us, man, I'll be happy with that. But we have several people in Australia now, like between Cody and the Dash guys and David Garcia down there. Like, we have quite a few people down there that are like, hey, man, like Matt Weber told me on that interview a long time ago, is like, dude, you and Danny get down here, we've got you covered. And I'm like, oh yes, that's what you want to hear. But did you see all the flies they were dealing with?
Yeah, that's
kind of felt
like
bad.
the
I
thing.
felt bad
They
about
have
that.
bugs like there's no tomorrow. I think it's everywhere. I think
Yeah.
they just don't have enough birds or something.
Right. Too many cats is the problem down there.
Yeah.
You know they have
Kangaroos don't eat bugs, I think so.
Do you know they have hunting tags for cats? Because the cats are such an invasive species, they've killed all the birds. They like.
Oh no, I know what you're talking about. I watched a little documentary on that. They're
Yeah.
like, yeah, we hunt cats.
Yeah.
Like, wait, what? You're
There's
like,
some
oh, yeah,
guy.
man, those things are ruining all the friggin' thing.
Yeah, there's some guy I watched something where he had like just cat skins in his barn, just like everywhere.
Yeah, I watched that same thing. There was like a weird cat dude.
Yeah,
Super
yeah.
weird cat dude. Today on All Terrain Nation, we talk about cat hunters.
Well, we talk about the pussy here.
Took a turn. Yeah, this took a turn. I mean,
The hair
if you're into
pie.
hair pie in Australia.
Oh, let's see. So we got we'll wrap this thing up, but the Bronco's a mess. The Nissan interview was fun. I've got, like I said, I'm going to do a couple build and prices because I do feel like, Danny, those are going to kind of shape to where the channel goes to see what people are interested in. And there's potential. I can always back out of the Bronco. So Armada wouldn't be first on my list. It'd be something different. But
You could just get a Raptor.
yeah, but they're kind of overdone, man. Everybody's done in a
I know.
Raptor.
I know.
I could always just jump it over a creek and like destroy it, like the 718 retard did.
Yeah,
Dude.
more. They could fix the cat problem by importing more Ford Mustangs. I think they would hinder the cat problem because all the guys that are killing cats would get taken out by Mustangs trying to friggin' do burnouts. So that might it might help and it might not. You know?
Alpine Tri says Gladiator. I would gladly own a Gladiator, and I don't know if I've said this, but back in January I was getting very disheartened by the Bronco BS that was going on. And I was sitting here at this desk. My wife was over at her desk, and I said, I think I may just go buy a Gladiator. Like, I'm kind of getting fed up with this. And she hates the Gladiator, Danny, with a passion. I know you're not a Jeep guy either, but I think it would be fun to have a Gladiator. I really do. And I think for the channel it would be fun too, but I once again, that's content that everybody's done now. Have you noticed, like, through all the car shows you watch, they all bought Gladiators last spring. None of those channels have Gladiators anymore. They've all
really, it's kind of a one-trick pony if you ask me. It's just a big Jeep with a little bit, it's just a big different Jeep.
Well, the Rubicon looks pretty good. It needs 35s, something fierce. After that, yeah, any of the other goofy 28-inch wheels or whatever they put on looks horrible on that thing. Danny, what would be one vehicle as we wrap this down? What is the one vehicle that's not Nissan related that you would be all over right now?
Rivian truck.
Really?
I want to know what it's all about.
Oh, the Canoo
I think
thing.
I've talked to you a bunch of that.
Do you remember the what was the Canoo or whatever it's called? One of our listeners asked us about it the other day. I know I'm saying it wrong. Let me see. Canoo, the electric lifestyle vehicle. It's the thing with like the lights look like pluses.
I'm gonna have to Google that real quick.
Dude, I'm gonna do a show on this thing.
KAN.
This thing. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Here, let me pull it up real quick. I know Danny's probably still tired.
Wait. What was it called?
Canoo.
CANOO. Because I put Canoo with a K, and that pulls up some Arab dude.
People were asking us to talk about this the other day, and I felt bad. So, Danny, I know if you gotta go.
Oh, it has the look of like a VW.
All right, so here it is, guys.
I don't know if I like it or not, dude. I kind of dig it.
I told Kelly that this may be after the Bronco, the next channel vehicle.
I kind of dig it, dude.
I like
it.
It's
super weird.
It's so weird, but yet if you look at the way the seating and everything is, it's very cab forward, like the old Ford vans.
Yeah.
Or what did they call the little pickup truckish looking thing van? You know what I'm talking about from the 60s where you sat right over the engine like an old van?
Yeah.
Yet it had a truck bed?
I do. I know what you're talking about.
But these things...
That's interesting, man.
Dude, these things they trip me out. And they do a van version of this thing, too.
Yeah, which does not look good.
I like that.
Something out of like Minority Report or something like that.
Yeah,
The
well,
van
definitely.
looks super weird to me. The truck bed one looks interesting. The van looks like they're trying too hard.
But see, here's the thing with these vehicles, and I've said it. I think Rivian balances the best of everything. It looks weird, but it's not. It's still very traditional looking. I think that's where Cybertruck kind of throws people off because it's so different that it just kind of people either love it because it's goofy looking or they don't. Where this thing is very Rivian like it's in between. I don't know. I let's see. Let's pull this up. Here's the van. So I like this little van. The mileage, everything I've seen about it right now is about 250 miles on charge, which is anymore. If you're not hitting 300, forget it. Like you might as well just
hang in the market. Yeah.
And it's pretty much a startup, but I like the design of this thing. And look at the steering wheel there.
Cool. It is cool to see all these really big, different type things,
And it comes in one color.
Yeah, I don't think we've been seeing nearly as many of like the real wild concept cars. I think that's part of the we lost all the auto shows. You'd see when the auto shows was the biggest way to announce stuff. They would come out with everybody would have like 3 or 4 concept vehicles. It seemed like you see these wild concept vehicles, and eventually we'd end up with some super vanilla version of it, whatever. But
right. But I look at the seating in
like
this
all
thing.
It's got a cool like horseshoe seating and stuff.
I mean, now obviously
it seems like electric cars are all the concept vehicles that we're seeing are all like really wild electric vehicle type things.
Right. Well, you know what the cool thing about this is, since there's not a big motor in the front of it, it just gives you a chance, and that's all electric vehicles, gives you a chance to just completely
change it up.
Yeah, just
flip the script.
Yeah, a little bit. But I did want to talk about this for a minute because I know we had some listeners a couple shows ago want to know about it, and I did research it that night. And I'm on the they're not taking $100 deposits on these yet, but I'm on that whatever list to get to put a deposit down. So depending on price of this thing, in about 3 years, you could see one in my driveway, Dan.
We'll see.
It's just weird. I like weird.
There's
obviously,
so many electric startups right now that it's just like it's so hard to know what's gonna get grabbed. What's gonna get bought up. How far they actually gone with their prototypes and how good is their tech and whatnot. So I mean, it's definitely a big shakeup in the market.
Sorry, the sound's like ridiculous loud up here. So I'm playing the video of the reveal.
Oh, and also the Alpha Wolf mini pickup. Have you seen that?
Alpha?
I like that idea.
That sounds
it looks
familiar.
like an old school Toyota Nissan little truck, like from back in the days, you know, like the little 720s.
Right.
But it's electric, and it looks super cool.
Look how this bed of this thing just all comes apart.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. I'll once there's more information about this thing. I'm into this. I think it's really cool. I've been into electric vehicles for a long time. It's just the Leaf with the old channel was the only option, and it really wasn't a solid option for me. We've got Aria coming out, something new. You've got obviously things like this. Rivian is what I think a couple months away from actually being able to purchase one. So we'll talk more about electrics. It's a whole nother nerd universe that I'm
yeah, we'll follow it as it comes out, right?
Right. So, well, Dan, any last things you want to kind of plug before we wind this one down?
Not really. Just a huge thanks to all you guys that support us, that pop onto these, and supporting Dave in this new venture. I'm stoked that you guys always pop in here, and it makes things so much more fun when you guys are chatting with us and drop, whether you're dropping super chats or dropping friggin' zingers like P Warren and Miso Honey. You guys freaking keep it fun and keep it light. I love it. So thanks for coming by, guys.
And so this week are you doing a live Wednesday?
Not this week because I'm on vacation. I'll be out on vacation, so I am gonna skip a week, or I'm skipping 2 weeks. But next week, the week after, I'm planning on doing a live, depending on how my setup is gonna be.
All right. And guys, when you see these videos that pop up, if it's something you're interested in, it means a lot if you share the video. Smash the like button. I know I repeat that a lot, but we're competing against the big TFLs or the bigger channels that they could plop a turd down and get 100,000 views, and we struggle sometimes to get the 2,000 to 5,000 range. So anytime you guys, if you like what we do, that's the way of showing us some love,
Give
man.
it a like, throw a chat in the comments.
Yeah,
it goes a long ways.
We do appreciate everything, guys. So from all things two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, you know the drill. It does not matter what you drive because this is your all-terrain nation, and this is my exit, Danny. What are we?